A simple whisper from a traitor brought an end to the most heroic military stand the world had ever seen. A hidden path, a finger pointing up a mountainside, and suddenly the weak point of an invincible army is revealed. That's how Ephialtes of Trachis, an ordinary man with no fame or power, entered history, as the guide who showed the Persians an unknown trail that changed the course of the Battle of Thermopylae, turning a heroic defense into a deadly trap. The story took place in 480 BCE. The Persian king Xerxes invaded Greece with a gigantic army. The Greeks' plan was to use the terrain to their advantage, fighting in tight places where the Persians' huge numbers wouldn't matter. At Thermopylae, a narrow pass between the mountain and the sea, King Leonidas and his men, Spartans and soldiers from other Greek cities, achieved what seemed impossible, holding back a monstrous army for days. The Persians attacked, but were repeatedly beaten back. The Greeks' goal was simple: buy time, so the rest of Greece could prepare for war. It's at this moment that Ephialtes appears. He was a shepherd from that region and knew every trail on the mountain. The information he had wasn't a state secret, but it was unknown to anyone who wasn't local. What made his actions so decisive was the timing. At night, while the Greeks rested, Ephialtes led Persian soldiers along the shortcut and brought them behind Leonidas's lines. When day broke, the Greeks saw they were surrounded. The strategy of blocking the pass no longer worked. Leonidas acted quickly. He dismissed most of his allies so they could escape and fight another day, but the Spartans and a contingent of Thespian soldiers chose to stay and fight to the end. The final battle was brutal, but they managed to delay the Persian advance even further. In the end, Thermopylae fell, but the time they gained proved crucial and allowed the city of Athens to be evacuated, setting the stage for the next great battle at sea. But why did Ephialtes do it? Ancient historians point to three possible motives. The first is greed. He expected a rich reward from the Persian king. The second was a matter of survival. His region was already under Persian influence, and collaborating with the stronger side seemed the safest bet. The third motive may have been simple self-interest. Unlike the soldiers who fought for their land and people, Ephialtes may have been thinking only of his own gain. To this day, there remains a small doubt whether it was really him. The historian Herodotus notes that other names circulated at the time, but the story ultimately singled out Ephialtes as the chief culprit. The Greeks put a price on his head, and he had to flee. Years later, he was killed, but in a different dispute, not for his betrayal. The power of this tale of treachery lies in the contrast. On one side, we have the soldier's courage and sacrifice. On the other, an ordinary man with a map in his head. The battle wasn't lost because the heroes faltered, but because someone simply redirected the course of the fight. Over time, the name Ephialtes became the Greek word for nightmare, like a threat that arrives when you least expect it. It's easy to frame the story as a battle of good versus evil, the brave versus the traitor. But reality is more complex. It shows us how knowledge of a place can be more powerful than an army, and how the choices of ordinary people can have gigantic consequences. That's why Ephialtes is so remembered. He shows us that history isn't only made by kings and generals, but also by those who know the shortcuts.